Welcome to Rethink Real Estate. My name is Ben Brady, and this is a real estate podcast aimed to deliver sales strategies, marketing tips, and business insights from industry experts and myself to build a listing-focused business for the future. Let's get into it. So Chris called me before, and he said to me, "This is what we're going to talk about." I thought he was swearing at me. Which I am not opposed to. However, mate, what are we talking about?
Google just released an update for their AI Gemini, which is called, their update's called Nano Banana. I don't know why they called it that. It's a very weird name. Let me just Google to make sure it is called that, because it seems it is the Nano Banana model is what they're calling it. So yeah, 100%.
So again, phenomenal name if you ask me, because it's got us already talking about it. So
maybe that's their point. You know, it's like one of those most outlandish names. It's like, why is it called that? And then all of a sudden everyone's Googling it. So it's probably going to the top of everything.
So what is it? Genuinely, I'm coming in cold to this, folks. He hasn't told me much about it whatsoever. So I'm going to be asking genuinely curious questions.
So it's an update to their AI algorithm and everything like that for Gemini. So one of their biggest things for their modeling that I think everyone's kind of had an issue with, pretty much every AI modeling out there. A lot of agents have probably used it in the past for little things like photos of, maybe they've tried staging it or using staging photos or anything like that. This Nano Banana model is supposed to be the next evolution of like using photos in their Gemini program. And when I've gone through it and when I've used it, it actually has performed really, really well, which is great. And one of the big things it says is now enhanced capabilities for their AI model to recognize likeness in images, which is huge. So if you upload a photo of yourself into any other image prompt AI generation, it usually gets it pretty close. But there's little things that are a little bit different. Like it might change my eye color, or it might change, it might make my nose look a little better. Who knows? Like it might just do little things to enhance the thing, but it makes it look a little bit AI photo-ish. When it comes to stuff like, for example, we did a while ago, we did all the superheroes for Harcourts event that we were doing when it comes to the top 20. So we turned them all into superheroes, and it was a pain. It was a pain taking their likeness and matching their likeness in superhero photos and stuff like that. Now with this new Gemini model, Nano Banana, it's pretty much seamless. It looks like a realistic photo, and it looks, everything's the same, and the person looks exactly the same. So it takes their entire face and it like actually merges it, makes it look a lot better into photorealistic other photos. So if you wanted to like take a selfie real quick and turn that into a headshot, a professional headshot, if you don't have one as an agent, it does that really well. I tested it out. It does it tremendously.
It doesn't look too fake.
Doesn't look fake at all, which is great. And that's one of the things that it has looked fake in the past when it comes to all these other ones. Now it's looking a lot better. And then the other things that it's doing in this one, this model is trying to compete a little bit with Photoshop and try to give you kind of a Photoshop element with a lot of your materials. So say you had like a marketing flyer or something like that of a listing, and you wanted to post on social media real quick, but you wanted to put like your headshot in the bottom corner of the image instead, like just so it looks a little bit more like social media. You can easily say, hey, take this flyer and put my headshot and upload your headshot in there. Upload my headshot into the bottom left corner of this flyer, remove the background of the headshot. It will do all those things for you and put it in there, and it works perfectly fine when I did the prompt. And it's just a simple little prompt. And they actually came out with an entire, which we'll link down below in the description. They actually put an entire prompt tutorial on Google for exactly how to make
that right there. That right there means that I'll probably use it in some way, because that's the type of thing that I'm still working on, like figuring out the prompting stuff of it. But in that situation, I would be take this flyer, put it into the social media tile metrics, and then also put my headshot that I've attached into the bottom left-hand corner and clean cut it or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Which makes me think, mate. It makes me think: is Adobe going to come out with their own AI? I would have
Adobe does have stuff built into Photoshop already. They do have an AI that they have built into it, and you're able to like do generative fills and stuff like that.
How user friendly is it though? Because obviously InDesign is one of the most complicated thing that I've ever seen in my life. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, your graphic designer, if you ever have anything made, that is where it starts. So like if you take a blank page and you need to, it doesn't happen on a Word document or a PowerPoint slide. It actually happens in InDesign most of the time. But it's just incredibly complex.
I use their AI pretty frequently in Photoshop. So not on the InDesign side. So I haven't looked into the InDesign side of that, but I've done it in Photoshop, and specifically like, when you're putting a clear cut headshot, like an agent headshot, but when they took their headshot, like their shoulders clipped off or something like that,
Oh,
I
yeah.
usually do it for those things, and I'll just select the area of their shoulder that's cut off, and I'll say fill in the rest of their shoulder, and it
Oh,
will actually fill in a realistic looking shoulder, matching their shirt, matching their skin complex, or anything like that, for the shoulder, and it gives me multiple options that are AI generated at that point. When back in the day, I would have to manually try to make a shoulder, which was terrible, like by cloning their other shoulder that was visible and then duplicating on the other side, flipping it around and doing all that. Now it's pretty quick and seamless. So AI has come a long way in the Photoshop world.
yeah.
But now I think Google's trying to do their own version of it so that you don't even have to open Photoshop, which is actually pretty tremendous. I'll read you a few of the little prompts that they have on their thing. They
Can I
have
ask you a quick question before? Can I ask a quick question before you do that? Is that so? If I put my old headshot in there,
Yep.
and then say, hey, can you clean this up, or what? Again, you're going to get to the prompts, but like if I said, can you please put a different background into it or whatever it is, because that's one of the big things when it comes to any real estate website or any team stuff or whatever it is. You could actually probably upload a whole bunch of headshots and then say, hey, create a team photo or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the things that in the past that I know that with some of our bigger offices, they've been petrified of doing a team photo that in case someone leaves or new people come, you could probably generate your own.
100%, and that's where I would start playing with these things with. So one of the things they have on here is adding or removing elements for editing images. So it says provide an image and describe your change, and I'll just read the prompt really quickly. But using the provided image of subject, so you type in whatever the subject is. So using the provided image of myself or this agent or a person, please add / remove / modify element to or from the scene. Ensure the change is description of how the change should integrate into the photo. And so that's their prompt for it. And it's tremendous. It worked out really well. The next one they have is something called inpainting, which they basically, if you wanted to like change the color of a couch that is like in a staging or something like that, or change the style of a couch from like a suede couch that's blue or bright orange or something like that, and you want to turn it into a modern luxury like leather sofa or something like that, you could easily do that.
Please don't make sure you're not misrepresenting what's already there, people, please.
Yes, yeah, don't do that. But that I think that's a good point on what AI used to do when you tried to stage things manually as the agent. Like you almost had to go to your photographer to do some staging stuff on blank properties. Because it would always alter like windows slightly, or it would alter like the flooring a little bit.
Weird. It does something weird,
or like the molding around the property. It would always do little things like that. While this one, you can maintain the likeness and the actual scene. If you were saying in the image.
So if I upload a photo of a room and I could say make it bohemian style furniture
100%.
and da-da-da,
that's exactly what I did.
That.
Yeah. So when I was testing this out, I uploaded a blank room, a completely blank room, but it had drapes on the windows. And so what I did is I said, remove the drapes from the windows, paint the walls white, because the walls were like yellow or something. And I just wanted to see if it would do it. And then I was like, and furnish the room, the bedroom, in a modern teenage girl's room. And it put the bed in there, a little, flower bed and like stuff like that, with flower sheets and everything like that.
Can't
a little
tell
desk
that Chris
in the
has
corner.
got 2 daughters at all,
Exactly.
but anyway.
Exactly. And it worked out perfectly. When I tried stuff like that in ChatGPT, I actually tried this, I think it was like a few weeks ago. We have a playroom in our house, and I was like, let me see if ChatGPT can give you an idea on how to like literally like stage this playroom, because it was a mess, and we were trying to like figure out how to organize this entire chaos of 2 little girls playing in a playroom. It was terrible. It didn't shoot back anything normal. It changed the wall height. It changed all these little things when I tried ChatGPT. But in Google, it literally kept everything the same. It kept the entire floor plan identical, and actually put in furniture to scale, which was actually pretty nice.
Image stuff is not ChatGPT's forum though at the moment.
No,
anyway, it's definitely not its thing. So it's nice to know that there's an alternative now for pictures. Like if you were to use like anyway, you might not know this 100%, mate. But sorry to put you on the spot. But like the LLMs that are available is OpenAI. There's obviously Gemini for Google. There's Accenture, is it? No.
Probably. I would have to like have all the
Anyway,
names in
I'm
front
just
of me.
like, so like ChatGPT is more user friendly that I'd use on a daily basis. Like I would use Google now.
Yep.
The image stuff,
You
well,
have
that might be where,
Grok is the other
yeah,
one,
yeah,
is the
Grok, sorry,
excellent.
yeah, AI, yeah, that's right. So Grok is more for code, I think, and things along those
Code
lines.
and more like it's funny, it's in my Tesla now, and it's kind of
Oh,
funny because it's just like gives me like the most sarcastic things. Like it's a very sarcastic AI. If you wanted to like have a laugh, it's a funny one to like have a laugh.
well, it's funny, and again, this is completely off topic. I watched on the All In podcast. I'm an avid listener of the All In podcast. They had their All In summit recently. I don't know how to take Elon Musk. I really don't. Like, some days I'm like, whoa, like you
Yeah.
are out of this world. And then the other days I'm like, this guy is clearly the smartest dude on the planet and can think about multiple things at the same time. And this interview, I've got to be honest, is the first time I've been like, it's the first time where I'm like, yeah, he is out of anyone's league. Like, he is
Yeah.
a new level. And he dives into all of the projects that he's got going on. And like, they pointed this out when they're doing the interview, Chris, where he was talking about, they pointed this out. They said, what human on earth could you actually go to and have a conversation about car manufacturing, the technology of the Optimus robot that they're building within that? Then they're talking about space shuttles, and then they're talking about an AI project that he's running, and also social media. Like, that is a fundamental interest. And I guess that, anyway, where I'm going with that is that each individual AI has its own specific talent. And I think that that's where now, not only do we have to be good at ChatGPT and understanding how that works, we have to probably be good at Google Gemini as well, and the image element to get the most out of it. That could be the creative element of it all.
And I think it's how we used to look at all the different social medias, right? It's probably a similar situation of that, where they all pick
Great.
their
That's
niche.
such a great parallel. Yeah, well done. Good.
They
Yeah.
all pick their niche of like LinkedIn was, for business and everything like that.
100%.
Facebook with XYZ. So,
That's very
and
good.
Instagram was image. So maybe Gemini
Maybe.
is your thinking of just image. One of the other things that I played around with from a real estate perspective on this Nano Banana thing was exterior. And so like painting the house a different color, and maybe it could be something to show potential sellers in a listing presentation of just little things they could do to enhance the value of their home, like painting their house, like doing landscaping in the front yard, little things that could actually
that's a
benefit.
great idea. In the listing presentation, we talk about compete, like the previous episode, like the other episode, and you're like, hey guys, here's an example of what we would do, what your home would look like if the kitchen was redone. Like, that's but again, like, that right there is that I've never known how to compete with somebody. Like, okay, let's say I started real estate tomorrow. The one thing that I'd probably do is expired and use auction in order to build a business as quickly as possible. That's what I would do. It's not a long-term solution. I don't want to do it forever, but that's what I would do. Now, if I'm going into another, like, I've never known how I could compete if I didn't have auction in order to have a point of difference. This is perfect. Well, guys, what if we did this? What if we did, because there's the things like that you can get, like the little loans that against the equity or whatever. Hey, this is going to cost you $20,000. This is what a new kitchen and bathrooms would look like in your home, and or we paint the home, it costs $10,000. This is what it would look like. Like, that's yeah.
And even like you could theoretically just take Google images and you could do it from there. But obviously, the poorer the quality of the image that you put into any AI, the worse quality you're going to get out. So if like you put a terrible resolution quality where it's blurry and stuff like that of the front of the house, and you try to upload that into ChatGPT, or not ChatGPT, but Gemini in this one, you're going to have an issue when it comes to actually spitting out a usable image in the the final result. But if you swung by the house real quick and say you don't have images yet of their kitchen, you haven't done the walkthrough or anything like that, and you're just sitting there and you're meeting them for the first time, hey, I just wanted to show you a couple examples of little things that I saw on the outside of your house. Like, we don't have to do any of this. We could sell the property as is. There are just some little things that I would recommend. Went through real quick and used our AI generation that we have private access to, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. And then, and you could say, hey, here's a repainting of the house. Here's what I would think would do an X in value, help your property stand out on the market, XYZ. I took a completely like destroyed front lawn picture of our neighbors. So good for them. And I was like, hey, like, let's see what this.
That's a lawn flex. That's a lawn flex. That means yours is good and theirs is
Mine
shit.
is good. Okay. I take a lot of pride in my lawn.
Hang on. Quick question. Do you mow your own lawn?
100%. Yeah. And so backyard looks great. I'm the only one on our side of the street because we have a problem with, we're on the tree line. So like our backyard is on a tree line, and it causes a lot of issues for all the lawns on this side of in the backyards of all of our properties.
The shade and everything. Yeah.
It's so much shade that nobody's been able to figure it out. So everyone's gone turf in their backyards. I'm the only one who hasn't gone turf, and mine's flourishing.
Well,
So I just want them to know.
let's be honest. Let's be honest here. This is very off the point. Is that, let's face it? What are we now? We're October. Is that mate? That lawn is going to be gone shortly.
Yeah, in a month it's gone, but during the summer it was great. And so, also the work I put into it was ridiculous. So there was a lot of trips to Home Depot to buy a bunch of like full on like soil and everything. I had to buy everything, seed. I had to do all of it. It was terrible. But my neighbor's front line is terrible. And I took a picture and was like, what would it look like if you laid down fresh sod and everything like that? And I put that into the Gemini, spit back to perfect image. So it honestly looks like photorealistic. It looks great. While the other ones I've done in the past when I've had issues with that, I've put it into image generators and it comes back and it looks very cut. You know what I mean? It looks very like it's cutting in the grass.
Generic and fake and whatever.
Yeah, super fake.
Well, this is perfect. This is the tool that people need from an image perspective in order to because I've got to be honest, I've got zero imagination. So what I would have to do if I was going to be providing a different product and letting a property really compete against the others in the marketplace is that I'd need to bring in a designer and a stager and all of those different things, because I've got zero of that skill. I'm really good at selling your home once you give me a completed product, but I would have to bring in a pretty large team. But maybe this might be you bringing the quote unquote designer in, so to speak.
Yeah. And this also, I saw examples on their prompt page too of logos or stickers or all these like little things as well, for that maybe as a solo entrepreneur, a solo business, like most real estate agents are, this could help them in a logo department, or this could help them in other things. So I would just say explore it. Like we'll link down the entire prompt page, play around with the prompts and see what spits out. Because so far I'm pretty impressed when it comes to this Nano Banana, if that's what you want to call it. I'm so far pretty impressed with the stuff they've come out with. It's probably the closest I've seen where I've been pretty wowed when it comes to image creation, when it comes to this, outside of there's one other one that's really good when it comes to like drawing up concepts and stuff like that I forget the name right now, but we've talked about it in the past.
Well, mate, thank you for the insight, and see you on another episode soon.
See ya.
So about 75% of our audience hasn't liked, followed, or subscribed to our podcast. It would mean the world to us, and it would help this podcast more than you know to expand our reach if you were to like, follow, or subscribe on any of the platforms that you're watching or listening on. Thanks again.